just outside of Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So that's.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
U-Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada. Une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, just do it. Faites-le. Fox 40, celebrating more than a decade of the Fox 40 U-Sports Coach of the Year Award Program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U-Sport. Veraburn, medical supply partner of Varsity Athletics since 1979. Partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. Barron, exclusive supplier of U-Sports Championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues du championnat U-Sport.
Hello and welcome to the U-Sports Women's Rugby Championship on CBC. I'm Karen Paquin along with Paul George. Today we will watch the University of Ottawa GGs face the University of StFX X-Women in this Consolation semifinal.
Yes, it's great to be back here. We're seeing the first of our Consolation finals. For those who aren't familiar with this tournament, we play off for the rest of the positions just to the fifth place final as well. So GGs will be looking, both teams will be looking to finish their tournament on a positive note.
This will be a big clash. Both teams were champion of their own conference.
Yes.
The GGs were champion of the RSEQ, and the X-Women were champion of the AUS. They both slipped in their game 2 days ago, so we will watch them in this Consolation final. I'm sure that they will have something to prove.
Yeah, yes, definitely. There was a lot of strong performances from the GGs despite the scoreline, especially towards the end of the game when they finally sort of found their rhythm. And I think that's exactly what they're going to be focusing on today, is to starting fresh out of the gate with that rhythm. We should really highlight some big combinations there with Kamba, Borsboom, and Masindi, 3 players who have just been named to the all-Canadian first team of women's rugby.
It was not a surprise to see
No.
them perform that well. They have been performing the whole season, and we were impressed with their play on during this game. And I'm excited to see them bounce back.
Yes, I think that's exactly how they want to finish. This is a very competitive team, the GGs. And of course, we can't forget that St. Francis Xavier's carrying the ex-women are carrying the flag of Nova Scotia right now, and they have just such a long tradition of rugby at that university. They'll be looking to finish with their heads held high as well.
Yes, Mike Kavanagh's 25th season.
With the ex-women, yes. We're just getting ready for the national anthem. You can see on your screen now the teams are ready to step out onto the field. It's a bit more mild today than Wednesday. You can see there's still snow piled up in the end, on the sidelines. So we are, of course, in Quebec City. It is starting to be wintertime, but we're just starting to get underway here. So we'll be we're going to.
Il ne faut pas se considérer comme à part de l'écosystème forestier. L'humain, il fait partie de la forêt. On a les équipements, là, aussi les infrastructures là, qui permettent de soutenir la recherche de haut niveau, très fondamentale, très poussée.
Les obstacles, je les vis comme un défi. À l'Université Laval, l'atmosphère ici est vraiment très ouverte de collaboration.
Ben, je pense que tout existe déjà et qu'il faut tout redécouvrir encore. I like the idea of seeing the human as part of the forest ecosystem. And we have great infrastructure for that. So we have high-tech lab for fundamental research.
What really stimulates me is to try to find the right tools. At l'Université Laval, we have a very collaborative atmosphere.
Everything has been already invented, but everything has to be rediscovered.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
And the tension is rising as the Ottawa GGs are about to kick off for this first Consolation semifinal against StFX. The referee in the middle for this game, Annie Kennedy, will be assisted by Cam Russell and Jérôme Lévesque, as well as Alexandre Liégeois, who will manage the technical zone.
Yes, we're just waiting for this first kickoff. GG's lining up on your screen left in the maroon burgundy jerseys versus the ex-women in white, who are ready to receive this ball.
Can we go? Sorry. Good? All right. White captain!
Referee just managing her time here. And we're underway.
Bowie with the kickoff. Well caught
We're good.
by StFX.
And looking to clear here now.
Hold in front!
Short kick. Putting a bit of pressure on the GG's reception there. We saw you, Vic, do that so well on
Offside.
Wednesday.
Slow down. We have the option, have the mark up here, captain. We have the option here.
That's a tactic
have
that
up there for the
StFX
offside.
used quite a bit couple of days ago with their number 9,
You have the mark for me?
Katie
Okay, perfect.
Murphy, being very efficient with her box kick.
You have a number?
However, this time they were caught on the
Number
offside.
2 and
Yeah, so unfortunately, one of the defenders was in front of the kicker and continued to advance, it looks like. And that gives the GGs the option of taking that penalty where the ball bounced or where it was kicked from. And of course, they've chosen to advance up the field to get that easy possession.
scrum.
And they're choosing to go for a scrum here. They want a strong platform. A bit of a surprising move considering how strong the GG's lineout was on Wednesday. But their forwards are eager to go. So we'll see them try to push this scrum forward towards the line.
I do have a lot of confidence in their scrum. However, I would have loved to see them set that maul early or even take the points. Why not take the points
Yeah.
1 minute in?
Yeah, it's a championship game. Some decisions are being made early here. They certainly want to open the scoring with a try.
Still a very good platform.
You can hear in the ref's microphone those forwards yelling for coordination there.
Strong run by Sarah White.
Very strong run.
No hands.
Picard with the charge.
Tackle now away.
GG's trying to advance in the 5 meters of their opposition.
Short.
Pushing right up to the line. They're just short of the line here.
And we'll get our first try.
Yes, it's again forward pack working so hard there, trying to get over the line, and it's a big team try. But
Cam, thanks for that.
I believe I saw Kamba dotting it down.
yes, I believe that was. All those forwards worked so hard together, and Kamba was there to finish the job, stretch over the line.
What a good way to start this Consolation semifinal.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that the GGs want to be playing. This is what they wanted to play against UVic, working hard with their forwards and moving, advancing the ball and with big physicality. The kick goes wide, though, under pressure from the charge down from StFX. Obviously, StFX will want to retake this momentum. It's very early in the game, so 3 minutes in, down by 5 points, they're going to want to recover this ball right away.
And now StFX will line up to kick off. Murphy in charge of their kicking duty.
We can see here Kamba just stretching over the line. Not much you can do to defend that. And punching the ball right back up here is Kamba and the GGs.
Tackle.
Unfortunately, Kamba's second row partner,
Hold in front. Hold in front.
Styles, was injured in the
Hold
last
on.
dying minutes of the UVic game, so she's working with a new combination of the forwards, but that doesn't seem to bother the GGs much.
No. And a little knock right at the base of the ruck caused by the pressure.
Yes, the ex-women are under a fair bit of pressure right from the beginning here. We're seeing GGs really try to keep play in the StFX zone. That's what you want to do to set the tone really early in this kind of game. Of course, we should mention that this is a hard gear shift for both these teams. It's hard to go back from losing a quarterfinal and getting right back into the competition again. So, very strong mental game being played by the GGs as well.
Boris Boom from the back of the scrum into space, tried to release her winger and Ngozi Mosindi.
Just
Not
about
quite
there.
connecting.
Almost. I'm sure they'll discuss that later, but that was just inches, just millimeters of difference there for another try.
Scrum called.
Still, this is very good territory. The ex-women have opted for the scrum. I believe they had the choice between the scrum and the line as the forward knock led into to the outside of the field of play, but they've opted for the scrum, which they believe is
Cam, you've got eyes on
probably a little bit safer.
Yeah, I think they want to have a safer platform to look for maybe a first punch into out of their zone here.
Set.
The GG's pushing very strong, a very strong defensive scrum, and they win the penalty there.
Not driving straight.
Big shove from that left side.
As you can hear, the referee say, the bind was not straight. Number 3 for StFX, Janet Kennedy, was not pushing straight in that scrum, and that has earned GG's the penalty by exploiting that.
These scrums are becoming even like more and more technical.
Yes.
And you both need the knowledge, the technique, and the strength to withstand such a big push from
Okay, GG's, you take
their
what you want.
opposition.
Defensive is set.
Yes, the scrum has evolved a lot in rugby over the past few years, and it's becoming more and more technical game.
It's a maul.
And we see the standing version of a scrum, a maul as it's called. GG's want to keep that ball tight in there as they can suck in the ex-women to look for space outside.
Same maul. It's the
And
same
they're rolling it forward very well,
advantage.
and they've won the advantage. There's some,
Playing advantage. Side entry.
yeah, StFX coming in from the side there, doing whatever they can to stop it, but unfortunately it was against the rules.
Yes. Referee calling for pulling down the maul.
What is it? Number 5 collapsing.
It is defended illegally.
2 side entry, 5 collapsing.
So two penalties around that defense there, and of course, no brainer here. GG's want to do it all again.
Hey, White, let's clean that out from the back, please. Join from the back. Needs to happen.
Referee Kennedy asking
Here for me.
StFX to clean up
Clean that
their
up, White.
defense and trying to not get penalized in this zone.
Yes, it's a important warning, especially right here in front of their line
It's a maul.
as they go again. And this is what we've seen the GGs do all year. Mosindi and the centers joining into that maul to give the extra weight.
Good play on. Okay. No try. Held up. Held up.
Well defended there, held up. Enough StFX and GG's bodies in the way to stop that ball going to ground. So it's a lucky break for StFX to defend that dominant maul.
Yes, they committed early. It looked good. They shoved it back a bit. They forced the GGs to add some people, and now they're with the goal line dropout. And
Foot.
Oh, off the foot, we
it
play
was
on.
knocked
Right here,
backwards
guys, right
off the foot.
No hands. Are we okay with her? Yeah.
But GG's still very much in control.
Oh.
It was a good line from Bowie in the middle.
Yep. Great strike line. She saw a gap in the StFX defense. The StFX is going to have to tighten up here, clear their line, and try to recover the ball farther into the GG zone, rather.
This is more of the style of play that I expected to see from the GGs coming into this tournament.
Yes.
White or
They have such a strong forward pack. We've seen that with the awards they've won and the style of rugby they've played to win the Rescue Championship.
bind. Set.
Murphy with the put in. Again, the big shove, but this time it remains.
Oh, live ball.
Stopped.
Bit of a ricochet around there.
Scrum here. Just a scrum.
It will be a scrum.
Oh, unfortunate that rebounding kick going forward off of a StFX player.
It was hard.
There's not much-
hard. There's not much you can do
No,
against that.
no. There's sometimes when you're stuck like that on the field, you just have to live with it.
Yeah.
We'll go time off.
Back
right
to a
now.
similar position. However, this time the put in will
We'll wait
be
till you guys are set up. Let's go.
for the GGs.
Yes, we'll see them probably try to push even harder here, try to gain those extra meters. StFX will have to dig deep to resist.
Crouch. Bind. Up, please. Up, please. Cap. Cap. Your binding's a little too short. It's got to be a bit longer.
So just some instructions to the front row, trying to work together with your opponent to build that platform.
The scrum is the one place where you have to work together until the very last second, and then you can try to bend each other.
Yes, it's the dark art of scrummaging, as we like to say sometimes. But it's well done here.
Boris Boom.
Lovely offload received this time.
Blight through the center.
Okay, away now, away.
And again, the forwards start to truck this ball forward. They're in the red zone. They know what they want. And that's exactly what they're going to get a try working towards here.
Kemba with her
Yes.
second.
Well done. Well done from the forwards there, working together, communicating and targeting those gaps in the StFX defense. It's very hard to defend that type of pressure on the line.
They've got some strong, powerful bodies, and they're agile. They can turn around. They can wiggle their way in, because StFX is supposed to be very strong as well. But
See a good.
what can you do? There's 4 of them ready to challenge those semi-gaps.
Great athleticism by Kemba there to once again reach over the line. She was tackled in an awkward position, but managed to finish that try anyways. And now we have Bowie setting up for the kick right in front of the posts.
Flags are up. We'll add the 2 points, taking it to 12-0 for Ottawa against StFX in this first semifinal for Consolation.
StFX preparing to kick off again.
Murphy this time goes to the other second row, Rachel Steele.
Tackle now.
Styles taking the ball in there.
Hold in front. Hold in front.
Bowie with the strong boot.
And now StFX returns straight up the field.
Straight in the middle.
Some no-nonsense running there. This is the energy I think they need. Now they're finally back into GG's half here.
Katie Douglas.
Nope.
But
Just a knock here. Just a knock.
unfortunate turnover there from almost a beautiful steal, but we can see StFX is here to play for sure. There's no backing down for that one-on-one contact.
Yeah. And that fullback really cut through the middle like a knife and butter.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Exactly. Here we can see it again. Can see it again here.
Head's going under his shoulders. 6 shoulders the whole time here, ladies.
Little weaving through the forward pack,
Bind.
getting around the outside.
Set.
X with the put in. Into GG's half.
Not driving straight. 1.
And they'll get their first opportunities to really enter
wow.
this half.
Backwards.
Chosen to go on. Excuse me. They've chosen to go quick there.
Okay. Red line out.
Perhaps
By white.
the ex-women weren't ready for that decision, but it was a strong scrum, and they won the not straight penalty against the GGs. So they seem to be warming up here into that forward battle.
No, we're just going here. Okay, here's
Yeah, when you get a penalty like this, you have the choice of kicking for points, kicking for lineouts, or just playing it quick, and that's what they opted to do. However, it seems like the player to her right wasn't quite ready for the pass. But they'll try to challenge the lineout and disrupt.
right here. Yep. Over here, girls, on the 15. On the 15. Okay, just
Well, next weekend we have the soccer championships hosted by Protocase Esports Men's Soccer Championship presented by Bell, coming to you from Cape Breton University in Sydney, Nova Scotia, which will be broadcast exclusively on CBC Gem and CBC Sports.ca.
straight for me. Perfect.
El Sharkawi with the put in. And the GGs will hit the middle. Strong run.
No.
Sarah White. This is prop Deborah
Hold in
Oyetoran
front now. Hold in
going
front.
forward. And the kick,
Oh, no.
not quite caught.
Is
It's
there
another
not?
scrappy ball here.
Okay, we're gonna play.
That's
We're
a
gonna play.
very unfortunate mistake.
Gigi's in strong attacking position, able to recover.
Are we thinking high? No.
Borsboom working hard to get that ball back after being stuck up there in a stand-up tackle.
And she'll call the knockdown here.
Sorry, from the AR. Forward. That was forward. Scrum. You threw it forward though. But I think it was because she was offside. Did they see that? What, but first infraction is that she's throwing the ball forward. Okay.
Well, no advantage. A bit of gamesmanship from the Gigi's attempted there, but it goes the other way.
It does go the other way. She attempted to throw the ball while she was offside. However, she did so forward. So the infringement will be awarding a scrum to StFX.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
StFX loading that left side.
Under pressure, but
Use it.
able to get the ball out here. And a strong kick moving back up to the halfway line.
Hold in front. Hold in front.
Gigi's have targeted that open side here.
But number 10 regathering, and that is a good-looking little kick.
Hold on. Yeah.
So
Again,
we've
sit.
entered into a bit of a tennis match here.
Mark.
But a heads-up play there from Katie Douglas to call for the mark.
No, that's fine.
She's called for essentially a free catch to slow down the game
Inside the 20.
and get her team under control.
And for those of you that are not
Oh, sorry. We're on line out now. So
well versed in the arts of rugby, you can call a mark if you catch a kick that is done in
Hey,
play
numbers.
without the
Thank
ball
you.
bouncing and you're inside of your 22 zone. So you can call a mark, and that protects you. It gives you a free kick, which is a bent arm penalty, as I like to call them.
Yes. And the ex-women have done very well to steal that ball back from the Gigi's
Now roll.
off the line out. But of course, Gigi's not backing down and being able to turn it right back over. So a lot of back and forth here today amongst those forwards packs. Any little mistake is going to get capitalized on. A lovely tip out the back there. These forwards are so dynamic from the Gigi's. They're working so hard to look for those opportunities to put their backs in the space.
Oh, and the intercept attempt.
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
I'll knock on.
yes, she's intentionally knocked that ball down to disrupt the pass, and she hasn't tried to catch it, so it's a penalty to the Gigi's.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
It's not a surprise to see the GGs going for the line out. I do expect to see them all
Yes,
set
that's-
up in that area.
Hey, numbers. Yeah, 6.
They have a number of targets that they can hit in the middle of this
Hey,
line out.
numbers.
yes, a very dynamic pack from the Gigi's. They're going to the middle here. As you said, Karen, it's a maul.
Rachel Steele going for the
And you can see those backs from the Gigi's just hanging around the edge there, waiting to hear the order to come in or spread out to look for that open space.
Okay, that's once.
The ball not coming out here.
That's twice. Use
El
it.
Sharkawi looking for this ball, trying to get her hands on it.
And she doesn't get there in time.
Very good defense
Yes.
from StFX.
They've seen it once or twice now, and now they know what to do to
They-
stop that maul.
They do know how dangerous this maul is, and they've succeeded into
To the left of the mark, please.
stopping it.
Yes, we're just slowing down here. It looks like they've chosen to go for the scrum to set the platform for clearing their lines. Next week, we're watching the Consolation semifinal of the U Sports Women's Rugby Championship. Next weekend, the Women's Soccer Championship is on display with the U Sports Women's Soccer Championship, hosted by Queen's University in Kingston. And you can watch it here on CBC Sports.ca or CBC Gem.
Murphy decides that this was too risky, and she kicks it right out.
Yeah, StFX known for their skills in the forwards, but starting to meet their match here under pressure in the scrum from the GGs.
Hey, red, numbers. Numbers. 6.
GG's getting hurried along by the ref. She doesn't want anything to slow down here unnecessarily.
Picard with the throw. Finds Rachel Steele with the
tip down to Kemba. So maul disrupted, but as we've seen, these forwards from the GGs, they love this pick and go game.
Tackle.
Set up a pod just out wide to find a little bit of an edge. Now number 10, Jamie Lee Walker, driven forward by her teammate.
An offside penalty there. Of course, it's so hard to stay onside in that position. You just want to get up into the defense and cut the space, but a little bit of ill discipline here. And the GGs have selected to go for the scrum. I think the forwards want to push it over. They seem to like to work together, the forwards today. And
yes, they do have a point to prove here, and I believe they really want to put lots of points on the board.
Of course,
they wouldn't be happy with just a penalty.
No.
And it's pretty hard to defend this big number 8 at the back of this scrum. However, they do so really well.
Well, great defensive effort from StFX there to recover that ball and
what a kick.
Pump it down the field.
Bowie under pressure slips and slides.
So we're due for a bit of rain later today, so these conditions might start to deteriorate.
Well done to StFX. They have sustained the pressure, and now they are out of this end zone. What an effort from that pack.
That's incredible. You know, we were talking about how GGs were going to try to push it over, but that seemed to be just the kind of spark needed to get the ex-women together and defend their line. And now it's...
Hey, too late.
And a free kick there. The GGs miscounted the number of ex-women in the lineout, and they tried to adjust too late after the referee had already set that channel. So a few technical misses there. StFX going quick off the tap and go, but right into that GGs forward pack. You can think of mountain goats running into each other there a bit when those forwards start to get into each other's faces.
Good bit of skill there to use this right side edge. The big forward, McDougall, going to put her team on the front foot.
Luckily recovered there. It was a dangerous run being all alone, taking directly into those forward pack there.
Emily Dudge trying to find a breach in this burgundy wall.
Looking to move the ball out to the wing. Those centers and forwards working together as a team, trying to build these punches back and forth into the GG's line. And
now they have numbers on that left side, but they can't use it quick enough.
Well reacted there to recover the loose ball, but that strong effort from GG's, they've managed to push the ex-women about 15 meters backwards. That's just such impressive defensive work we saw from GG's against UVic as well. They don't back down in that defensive line.
They're very comfortable in the tackle.
and a lot more discipline today than we saw in the quarterfinal. And that discipline's paying off as they don't have possession but are still advancing the field.
Everyone's on.
Now Sierra Wood opting for the kick.
Well taken by Mosindi. Little lack of communication between her and the fullback, but still manages to recover it. So we reset in about the same position that we were a minute or two ago.
It's exhausting to defend like that, but it's also extremely tiring to attack in that kind of position and not being able to move forward. So I understand why she tried to shake things up and go for the kick and then gather and tighten the whole pack into a line-out.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just need to give the team a chance to reset mentally. It can be so difficult and demoralizing if you're having the ball and attacking, but losing meters every time. Smart decision there.
Okay, use it.
Good maul from StFX, but has been stopped efficiently.
Breakdown in communication there.
What a hit in this ruck.
Okay, offside 13.
Jamie Lee Walker.
Very strong ruck. And they're again calling for the scrum here. Interesting choice from the GGs.
I do like a good scrum in the middle.
Yes, it's
say.
a strong attacking position, but we saw them elect for touch most of the quarterfinal, but not always able to get that ball into touch. So maybe this is just the choice that they decided they're going to work on the scrum game.
Time's off.
And we all have to understand that Duncan McNaughton is a scrum coach.
Yes.
He is a head coach, but he is a scrum coach first. And
first and foremost.
He is assisted by Asia Bartley, who is also a forward. So I understand why they're going with the set piece.
Yes, exactly. Something that they'll spend long hours on the practice pitch, working on their binds, working on that pushing formation.
And the big boot, but really well managed.
Yes, lovely kick and chase there.
And number 5, Akwaima Akpan. Going backwards when she needed in order to help catch the ball on the kicking battle.
A bit slow to get up after that big contact, though.
Overlap, trying to get that offload.
Forcing the offload there, perhaps not necessary. Of course, we can understand the ex-women in this situation. It's very frustrating. You want to try to get that momentum going and get that spark, but those decisions have to be maybe a bit more crisp.
And this is the style of game that they are used to perform, hitting the contact, finding the offload. However, the defense is so solid that they're not able to move forward once they're hitting this contact line. So that's what makes it so hard to create good offloading positions.
A big evenly matched scrum there on this short side nearest the stands.
Number 10 finding a gap.
Advantage here. I wonder if that's a... Yes, it's a high tackle.
Just above the shoulder line.
No tolerance for high tackles in rugby in the modern game, so something to really keep an eye out for. And of course, we haven't seen many calls for high tackles this tournament so far, and I think maybe one in the whole game for GG's UVic, so something that these coaches are really working hard on.
Outside the 22.
And it's efficient. When you chop,
yep,
you stop.
Front lifter, you take right here. Just
Simple as that.
Yep, exactly.
5.
So 5 players going into this lineout, creating a lot of options for the GG's forwards here. Picard to throw in.
And we see here the winger Anya is stretching the field, trying to open a gap for her number 15.
But the forwards are driving this ball forward. They've got the advantage. They've got a free option here to try something a bit more expansive, a bit more dangerous. But no need to do that. Just drive forward.
Drive forward. Borsboom.
Well done, Borsboom.
Borsboom going all the way to the try line.
Yep.
What a great run.
We'll just take a look at that again here. Coming
the
up.
Offload.
Yes.
And then all the way through. And yes, you can come with me, but I'm not stopping before I hit that white line.
So 3 tries, 17-0 for the GGs, all scored by the forward pack. As we mentioned, with the style of play that they've been playing this year, no real surprise there that their attacking serious dangers are in the forward pack.
Absolutely.
And this is the kind of game that they were trying to play against UVic, but just not getting all the opportunities. We saw sparks of it, and now it's finally coming into action here.
They have worked their kinks.
Yes, they've ironed out a few things and got back onto the same mental page. The question now remains for, just kick off the post there, so it will remain 17-0.
Bowie had a good strike, but it just drifted onto this post. We've seen a few of them.
Yeah, we've seen a few. We've seen a few of them this tournament. Referee just mentioning to the StFX captain that those forwards are being pinged a bit too much. And CBC is your home for the 2023 Canada Life Vanier Cup, which is also coming from Kingston, Ontario. Join us to catch the best in university football action Saturday, November 25th at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBC TV, CBC Gem, and CBC Sports.ca.
Number 9, Murphy, trying to hit the other side and kicks right to Borsboom, who runs about half the field, both forward and laterally.
Yes.
Really putting our team on the front foot.
Yes, you've got to start asking questions. What can StFX do to get back in this game here? They're trying to mix things up a little bit, but Borsboom just showing that she's danger wherever she is on the field.
Yeah. Oh, that nice little switch on the outside between the winger and the fullback.
So we punch back here. Those GG forwards working so well together, so tight together. And we've seen that a few times now, with that pop out the back, giving the forwards more space, making them a bit more dynamic.
Oh, and number 12, Sarah White going through and offloading to Comtois.
Big heads-up support there from Comtois. StFX getting caught very isolated in these little 2-on-1 situations.
And we're back in danger zone for the GGs.
They're going to just set this ruck here. I have a feeling the forwards are going to want to have a few goes at themselves. Inches from the line there.
And it is scored. I believe number 7, Annalise Way.
So 4 tries from 3 forwards. No surprise to see that pick-and-go game so dangerous, because that's exactly how they played in the Rescue Finals here at Stade Tellis against the Rouge et Or when they took home that championship. We can see here on the replay, getting low.
They're really efficient at going to the outside of that first and second defender. They're not trying to go necessarily through them. They're just under and around.
Yeah, they're just targeting that extra bit of space and getting a little of the discoordination between the StFX defense. You can see them just sliding off the side there.
Makes it also really hard to fold around and come back to defend the next one. So they're really stretching those defenders and challenging their speed of reaction.
Yeah, and after a few, it's been several minutes of that type of rugby, and just a few phases can be so difficult to defend against. So we're coming up to halftime here. You've been watching the GGs versus StFX X-Women in the Consolation semifinal of the U Sports Women's Rugby Championship on CBC Sports and CBC Gem.
Over there, that's very, very dangerous. Cannot have that happen again. You need to work on your entries as well. Joining from the back all times.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Peu importe à quoi ressemble votre vie, vous pouvez compter sur nous. Pour la vie comme vous la vivez. Assurance, placement, conseil. Canada Vie.
Every year... Every year, U Sports celebrates its best student athletes, honoring their major accomplishments in each sport. Here are the nominees and winner of the 2023 U Sports Rookie of the Year Award for Women's Rugby.
Les nominés dans la catégorie de la recrue de l'année sont: The nominees for Rookie of the Year are, from the AUS du sport universitaire de l'Atlantique, la numéro 8 de l'Université Saint-Francis-Xavier, StFX University No. 8, Aquima Akpan. Du réseau du sport étudiant du Québec, from the RSEQ, University of Montreal Fly Half, la demi d'ouverture de l'Université de Montréal, Leila Bourgault-Pedeluc. From the OUA, du sport universitaire de l'Ontario, Wilfrid Laurier University Back 3, la troisième ligne de l'Université Wilfrid Laurier, Samantha Hessels. And from Canada West, de l'Association Ouest Canadienne, UBC Centre, Centre du BC, Adia Pai. The 2023 U Sports Women's Rugby Rookie of the Year is, la recrue de l'année en rugby féminin U Sport est, Aquima Akpan, St. Francis Xavier University.
Peu importe à quoi ressemble votre vie, vous pouvez compter sur nous. Pour la vie comme vous la vivez. Assurance, placement, conseil. Canada Vie.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team. U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U Sport à Radio-Canada. Une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, just do it. Faites-le. Fox 40, celebrating more than a decade of the Fox 40 U Sports Coach of the Year Award Program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U Sport. Veriburn, medical supply partner of Varsity Athletics since 1979. Partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. Barron, exclusive supplier of U Sports Championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues du championnat U Sport.
Welcome back. You're watching the U Sports Women Rugby Championship on CBC, CBC Sports, and CBC Gem. I'm Paul George, and I'm joined here by Karen Paquin, and we are watching the second half of this first consolation final between the U Ottawa GGs and StFX X Women.
First half was dominated by the GGs. Simple as that. The points are currently 22-0.
So, yes, we're just seeing here now that the first half was dominated by the GG's forwards pack. They've been working so hard together, trying to get that ball moving forward, as we've seen all season. That's a very forward-dominated team.
It is. They have a number of standout in this game. Currently, Kemba has been everywhere. Borsboom's been having power and fire in her legs, as well as Rachel Steele being in the lineout, a real tower.
Yes, she's been working hard to clean up that ball. It's not to say that the X-Women have not been able to match them at times, but it's just been a little bit overwhelming from the GG's forward pack here. We're seeing now the players are just starting to work their way back to the field as we get ready for that return kickoff. What do you think we have in store for us for the rest of the match, Karen?
I think for me, I would like to see the X-Women respond with their own style of play. They have to find a way to dominate that contact, so to change a little bit of direction just before they hit contact in order to open that strong offloading game that they do have. We've seen the Rookie of the Year, Akwaima Akpan, being everywhere on the field, but she needs more of a...
They need more possession. That's sure something that they'll need to work on, is keeping the ball in hand and trying to optimize their attack here.
Yeah, they're able to get good rhythm and good movement. Their number 9, Katie Murphy, has been efficient at the back of the ruck. However, they've just been struggling to go forward. So they've been relying on the penalties that they can create and earn. But this is just not enough against a team that really turned it around after their first game.
Yes, we can see that we saw glimpses of this style of rugby and this style of play from the GGs in their quarterfinal against UVic, and they weren't really able to put all those pieces together, but they are able to do it today, as we're seeing in this first half. We're just waiting here for the return kickoff.
And there was one substitution done on the StFX side. Janet Kennedy came off, and Jessie Pinney will take her spot, number 16.
So the opening kickoff underway. Huge leg drive from the GGs. We talk about that forward pack, and that's exactly the kind of style of rugby that they are going for.
And the big boot finding the bounce, but it is well managed at the back.
StFX working to get that ball back here. And we're starting to see a bit of the kicking game that we saw glimpses of in the first half, a bit of a back and forth between the back three, but a nice little move there to advance the ball. StFX now setting up, attacking with their forwards. They're trying to get into the punching game, moving towards, ever so slowly towards the GG's line.
Yeah, their winger and fullback, Katie Douglas, being in high demand in this beginning of this game.
Great
tackle.
Great covering tackle there. But an unfortunate knock-on trying to rip that ball out, so we'll see a knock-on advantage to the GGs. Looking to turn that ball over, but playing conservative, letting the GGs advance, not wanting to give up any penalties here.
And on the GG side, there was one substitution. So Farida El Sharkawi, the number 9, came off. And to take her spot, Julia Latremoy, number 24.
Yes, we see Latremoy pass the ball out there from the back of the ruck. We're seeing the GG start to move around with their forwards, or with their backs, sorry. But more lovely offloads from the forwards.
Offloads.
And they've earned the penalty there. Hands in from the ex-women, trying to do whatever they can to get their hands on the ball.
It is so hard to play rugby when you're not able to go forward.
No.
In defense and offense, it's hard to be in good position. It's hard to get your timing right, and it's exhausting. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the dominant pack from the GGs, just giving a challenge to the whole StFX team.
Yes, a challenge that they're trying very hard to match up to. We know StFX has such a legacy of rugby, such a strong focus on sports in Antigonish, but they're just getting outmatched a bit at the moment.
And they have a young team. They don't have a lot of 4th year and 5th year players. So they are building, they're trying to get inspired by this legacy, but finding their own style.
Yeah, this will be an important experience event for these young players, playing in a national final, playing away from home, and playing someone that they've never seen before. Of course, StFX champions of the AUS, they won't have played against GGs ever. They've watched some game tape maybe, but it's a whole different thing once you get onto the field.
However, the pressure pays off here. GG Center with the little knock on, as the lineup wasn't very clean at the back.
Yeah, it'll be important for the GGs to not force those extra fancy passes and stay in there, stay under control and in their zone.
And the referee will have seen the right side prop going to ground.
Yep. And now
take the first shot at goal.
Yeah, first shot at goal as a penalty kick for the GGs. They're looking to extend this lead, tick the points over, and keep that momentum on.
It is very expensive to play in this zone as it's so dense. You don't have to have like a lot of people covering the backfield. So instead of going with the tiring, expensive game, they just want to take the points, go back, and try it again.
Yes, exactly.
And let's remember that on those kicks, if it doesn't go through, the ball is live. However, it is a good kick as the flags go up.
Yes, so we've seen in the beginning of both halves now, quick points from the GGs really getting that momentum. So the best of women's soccer is on display next weekend in the U Sports Women's Soccer Championship, coming to you from Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario, which you can watch only on CBC Sports.ca and CBC Gem. And we're just preparing here for the next kickoff. StFX putting the ball in around the midway point of the GG's half. And we see a little bit more of what we've seen all game, but unfortunately for the GG's, that kick has gone straight out. So since she was outside of her 22-meter line in the middle of the field and kicked directly out of bounds, we'll come back to where the kick was. And we're seeing a substitution from the GG's. We're seeing Comtois being changed for Sophie McDonald.
This is the first kicking error that we see in this game.
Yes, it's been quite clean.
It's been very clean so far. She won't be happy about that, but I'm sure she will not let this disrupt.
Shake that off. And
oh, yeah.
Lovely setup for the maul there. And StFX.
Akpan, Rookie of the Year.
She's driving, but she's alone, and she's very much held up. We're going to have to see if this ball's going to come out.
It's a maul!
Referee.
They've created a maul, but it will be hard to get this ball out.
No. Unfortunately, the ref calls that unplayable, so the ball is a turnover to the GGs. But that's the spark, I think, that StFX has been looking for, that dynamic play off of the maul.
This is an issue that there's no real solution. So Akpan was held up by herself.
And you can see her coming through on the replay. She's just standing up by 3, 4, 5 GGs.
And as soon as there's an ex-player that comes in, it does create a maul. And if it's unproductive as it was, then it will be a turnover. Good defense from the GGs.
Yes, the pick and go to try to create some space here.
Good footwork in the middle by Sarah White.
Under pressure on that kick reception, but still going. Unfortunately stolen after that lovely dart and dynamic rugby. And again, we see that ball go straight out, so it'll be a StFX throw-in on this line out around the 10-meter line in the GG's half.
She looks very dangerous in space. This fullback.
Yes, that's been a few times. Not afraid to run straight back right in the face of the GGs. Throw-in coming here. Taken cleanly, and we see the ball moving out to the backs here in the center of the field. Oh, luckily held on to after that big contact in the middle of the field.
In the straight line.
Yes, no nonsense straight line there. Looking to just push forward, regain some space.
This is good from StFX. This is what they want. They want to do. However, good tackle takes them back, but they still have a little bit of an edge.
Yes, they have the advantage. They'll be feeling a little bit less pressure to try something.
Offside. Right here.
They want to get ready, set. Oh, and a quick tap.
McDougall wants to play.
McDougall wants to get this energy moving. You can see some big rucks happening here. The ex-women are fired up. They want to get some points on the board. Traveling that's a bit dangerous to go alone against this GG's forward pack who are so dangerous around the ruck.
Akpan trying to get around her defender.
Lovely pass out the back there from the forwards.
Good line by Emily Dudge.
But the defense from the GG's just able to adapt.
Tackle.
Now we see the GG's continue after many phases of punching rugby back and forth, trying to build the momentum, but stuck outside the 22-meter line of the GG's.
Kick through.
Backwards.
Lovely bounce.
No hands.
That's what they're looking for, to try to put the GG's under pressure, force a poorly positioned kick.
Hold in front. Hey, hold.
And it will go straight out, but she was inside of her 22-meter zone. So the line out will be played by StFX where the ball came out.
Yes, and we can see StFX has worked really hard after that line out from the 10-meter line. They've advanced about 8 meters in all, so really having to fight and pay for every inch of territory they're gaining today.
Yeah, they're using that left and right, and using a lot of the same people. We've seen McDougall.
So we're just waiting now. We have a player down receiving attention. And Canada's top university runners head to London and the historic Thames Valley Golf Course for the 2023 U Sports Men's and Women's Cross Country Championships on November 12th. The women's race begins at noon Eastern, followed by the men at 1 p.m. The 2023 U Sports Men's and Women's Cross Country Championships are next Saturday exclusively on CBC Gem and CBC Sports.ca. So we're seeing play start to recommence here after that quick check from the medic team. Referee saying play on there. Bit of a break there for the potentially not straight throw.
She was very quick over this ball.
Yes, it's not the first time.
Oh, look. Right here.
Kamba saying, if you fall quickly, if you fall on your side, I will take this, thank you.
Yes, she's so strong in those defensive rucks, but not able to make touch here off that penalty kick, so we'll see the danger coming from the StFX women punching that ball up right up in the middle of the field.
Akpan again.
I'm coming right here. I'm coming right here.
Lovely tip on there. The ex-women just inching forward, ever forward, but it's going to be a long way to go if they're going to get to the goal line.
Great kicks and even better pressure.
Yes.
Catherine Culligan.
But she's left a space in the line there by joining it.
Backwards.
Some good desperate defense there from the ex-women to stop that counterattack from the GG's.
Winger Courtney Gutzelig wasn't able to grab the ball, but grabbed the person and the ball and throw her out of bounds.
And we talk about this is a building year for StFX. They've had such a long and storied history with women's rugby. I believe they are the all-time winning champion for this competition with six wins under their belt. It's been quite a long way for them, and their 2010 ex-women team was inducted into the StFX Hall of Fame this year. So lots of tradition that these girls will be looking to develop as they move forward in their careers.
Yeah, they have legends that played in this team. Ghislaine Landry, Tyson Bukaboom.
Bounced, yeah? Yep.
A lovely targeted kick from the GG's to really pin the ex-women back just inside their 22. That ball bouncing just centimeters away from the touchline, giving them that extra little bit of space.
Again, very good position to be in for the GG's. The only thing that could get better would be to have the ball, but I'm sure they're gonna try to get it back and disrupt this line out,
and
which they do.
not straight. You can hear the excitement in the GG's pack through the referee's microphone. And maybe it wasn't apparent on camera, but you can see a lot of heads-up play from the GG's backs, adapting to changes in StFX's attacking formation. So this team is so well drilled on defense. They're happy to be playing defense here, but I'm sure they're happier to have the ball back.
I do love playing defense.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yep.
A quick huddle to make sure that they are all on the same
White, everything from the
page.
back, please.
I saw prop Val von Mildorfer joined the effort on the field.
It's a big maul here from the GGs. They've sheared off and they're keeping that core group going with the ball, advancing on the far side.
Collapsing or no? We're okay.
Heads up play, breaking free. Just a meter short. And once again over from the forwards.
This is a totally different team.
Yes.
That we're seeing.
So much different from that first quarterfinal. I think they seem to have found their rhythm and found their excitement here. It's a try from Borsboom.
Just inside.
Our home announcer is calling. So the score stands at 30-0 here as still in the opening stages of the second half in the Consolation quarterfinal. Of course, the next Consolation quarterfinal is coming up right after this, followed by the championship semifinals this evening. Lots of rugby here in Quebec City this week, and it's lovely for the game in our region and for the game across the country.
And we're seeing substitutions coming on. Ava Wallis, as well as Shona Galloway, and earlier today, Brianna Willis came on as well.
For the ex-women.
Wrong team, Karen. Just kidding. Just kidding. This would be Michaela Sweeting, Kaylee McMillan, Sophie McDonald.
Coming in for the GGs. So as we get back underway with this opening kick, we'd like to mention that women's soccer finals are coming to you from Kingston, Ontario next weekend. The U Sports Championship will be hosted at Queen's University, and you can watch that in person at Queen's or on CBC Sports.ca and CBC Gem. So a few changes coming in here, getting onto the field, getting experience, playing in a championship final. And as we mentioned, this is a consolation semifinal, but these teams all want to finish this tournament with their heads held high on a victory. So the road to Sunday night is still open to them, and that's what we're playing for today.
Bind! Set! You can use.
Lovely pass out the back there. Just a little bit of sideways running and lost forward by the winger for StFX, number 14, Griffith.
Advantage over.
They found some space at the back.
Backwards.
And they've regathered the ball. Great.
Such
skill.
dynamic play from the GGs. And we can see those forwards there getting in at the scrum half position while Lachemoy is stuck on the ground. Just inching forward. You have to be careful there, not to crawl with the ball, but.
Got it.
And it's just an unfortunate forward pass, but such excitement in this GG's pack today, and the whole team really.
And you can see the fresh legs making an impact.
Hey, let's go time off. Time off.
They come on and they want to add, they want to contribute. And now it's on the other side that we are seeing
7, 11,
substitution. Number 23, Drew Bell. Number 21, Shona Galloway.
Okay, I'll take a look.
Number 25, Madison
I'll set them right
Arnott.
here. To the left of that, okay? 6 shoulders from everyone. Don't come off your hookers' hips, okay? Same thing to
You
you
can
guys.
hear we can hear the referee giving instructions to those forward packs. She doesn't want to call any penalties. She wants both teams to work together. She knows that, you know, refs are very aware that when they call those scrum penalties, it can have such a demoralizing effect on the penalized side. So they want to work sure that everyone is on the same page.
Emily Dodge in the middle.
Pounding forward, great leg drive there.
Hold.
Short kick into the center of the field. A dangerous position. But knocked forward off the extra pass there from the GG. So we'll see another StFX scrum. They've moved the field up. They've moved just about a foot or two inside to the GG's half. I think sounds like the ref is happy with how the last scrum went, so a lot of good positive communication with the pack there.
6 shoulders. Coach! Bind!
Left side is overloaded for StFX.
Yeah, they're wanting to target that short side.
Using that to open space to the right.
But lots of sideways running there.
Hold!
Maybe not the best option. Again, the short kick into the little gap there between the StFX back or the GG's back three and defensive line.
No, we're gonna stop there. Player down. Okay.
Referee stopping the play for safety.
It's like
As
You okay?
Emma
Okay,
McDougall
sorry. I thought there might have been
gets
a head
back
there.
to her
That's why I
feet.
stopped the play. Okay, we're gonna go scrum for red here. Okay.
yeah, just
Scrum for red.
referee's decision there to make sure that the players were safe. So no harm, no foul. We'll restart with a scrum.
Time's back on.
Sun starting to come out of the clouds a bit more as we move towards the end of this first game on the Friday semifinals.
That's okay.
It's a huge day of rugby here in Quebec. We have 3 more games coming, and we've seen some really exciting rugby this first day of the tournament.
Yes, and it will get more and more and more exciting as the day goes.
Bind! Set! We're gonna go up. Okay.
Hard to say what happened there, so the referee's just going to reset, make sure that the scrum is stable.
Slow things down here, girls.
Yeah, we do
Alright?
see a little bit of instability
I'm gonna slow down the cadence. Okay, so be ready for that. Hips on hookers,
as
please. 6 shoulders the
there's a
entire
lot of
time.
changes in
Alright,
both
I need the bind.
packs.
Okay.
So it's normal to see the adjustment in the first few scrums.
Yes, the refs wanting to give a little bit of leeway. Some of these players are coming in a bit colder, a bit warmer, so wanting to have everyone on the same page.
Bind! Set! Hold! Hold!
Clean ball,
Oh.
but it's not caught.
No, just a bit too hard on that pass there. A bit of a miscommunication, maybe too many resets and a little lapse in judgment. But we'll reset another scrum, but this time for StFX.
Okay. 6 shoulders, please.
You see the X-women the backs are quite bunched here in a triangle around the back of the scrum. They've obviously got something in mind here.
This is a little bit of a nightmare for the defensive team. Best thing to do is to win the scrum.
Yeah, and they've won the scrum. They've forced that penalty, driven the X-women forwards to the ground. So unfortunately for their backs, that move will have to wait.
Captain. It's you now. You want a scrum? Okay. Scrum called.
This is a lot of scrums in a row.
Yes, and they seem to have found what they like to do today. It's going to be a long day at the office for the forwards, but GGs are very happy to be there.
Because whether you win them or lose them, it's still a big effort.
Yes.
To put in that scrum. So.
But we should note that most of these scrums are coming from choice.
Yes.
And it's not a mistake. It's not a knock on by the backs. It's a choice. So the forwards are eager.
I believe the choice is made by a back.
And
big shove and
almost coming out the side
back.
there.
Well taken, but the kick finds some space. And it almost rolls out.
Oh, but it
does.
It's taken out. Yep, it's called taken out by StFX. So GGs will recover that ball onto a line out so we can see all of their set pieces in action.
Just right here. Okay.
She was trying to go for the 50-22 and she in some way succeeded.
Yeah.
Time's off. We've got a blood.
So we have a player getting treated just to clean up a moment for some scratches. And GGs are looking to plan this movement out.
Right now regarding the scrums, but okay, let's go.
And as we start to reset here, teams are looking strong. We can see the GGs subs enjoying themselves on the sidelines.
It is so great to see smiles on their faces. That's one thing that this team has successfully done. It is regather themselves and show up with a big game today.
Show up, ready to play.
Oh, wow. Mosindi with the big charge in the middle.
Yeah, picking up the loose ball. Mosindi's working hard to strike through. We saw her get that lovely try off an individual effort in the quarterfinal, and she runs in the same power here.
She looks like she gets taller when she lifts her knees. When you see her on the field, she looks like a winger, and then she goes forward like she becomes a second row.
Yes, she's not afraid to join in with the forwards. So we have a penalty here, and they choose to go for points.
Power.
Yeah, I hate that. I've got 10.
And she moves around. She goes and finds the work. You see her. She's doubling up on that left side, adding some value, adding some speed and power into the line.
Yeah, and
she doesn't wait on the sideline
no,
to get the ball.
As you say, she's dynamic, and she's joining the forwards and playing like a ninth forward, which, I mean, it's hard enough to defend against 8 GG's forwards, but a ninth just might be the one bridge too far for most defenses.
And we see here Taylor Hendrick taking over the kicking duty. And she'll add some points of her own.
So it's 30-0 GG's versus StFX in this Consolation semifinal. CBC TV is your home for the 2023 Canada Life Vanier Cup, coming to you from Kingston, Ontario. Catch the best in university football action Saturday, November 25th at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBC TV, CBC Gem, and CBC Sports.ca. See StFX setting up for the return kickoff. They've had perhaps a bit too much practice at this today. They'll want to get the ball back this time.
Emily Dodge with the big kickoff. Straight in the hands of their winger.
And that just shows some of that dynamism from Mosindi, able to punch the ball up with like the forwards and kick with the rest of the backs as well.
What a quality kick. Huge boot, giving her the 50-22.
Lovely play. Well, there's a reason she was named to the Canada All-Canadian team just last night at the awards gala. So
very nice kick.
A very
lead from Taylor Hendrick.
5.
Giving her team the line out. Finding Borsboom in the middle. Sending, I believe it's Grise in the middle. No, it's not.
Short!
Didn't quite catch number.
Short!
We're back into this pick and go game from the GG's forwards, which they've able to go once more over the top there.
Beautiful.
I think that
Terry Davis Ewan.
I think Terry Davis Ewan was the one who started this with a big punch up the center there, sucking in so many of the StFX women and bringing in all the forwards to capitalize on that space.
And the forwards did what forwards do.
Yes, exactly.
This must feel so good for the Ottawa GGs.
Yeah. They have definitely responded to that first performance against UVic, and they've elevated today. They want to finish this season with a win.
This is what you want to see as well, the resilience and the capacity to bounce back, and to show up, because even though you're not playing for the gold medal, you're still representing your school, you're still representing your program, your team, your family, and you want to show up for your team and yourself.
It's exactly that. As we see StFX kick off again, this time short.
Hold, hey, hold!
Wow, again.
Dangerously kicked here, putting the StFX women under pressure. And just into a wall of GGs there. You can hear you might be able to hear through the referee's mic the GG subs going, celebrating on the sidelines the great defensive effort of their teammates.
This is good tactics. Kick over them, and then isolate them, and then challenge that breakdown.
Yes. We can imagine that this is something they might have practiced in their long sessions, inter-squad games and such like that, looking for these types of positioning events on defense.
And the whole team really got the memo that when we kick the ball, it's not a time to grab a coffee and wait. It's a time to put pressure. These are the easy meters, but you have to run for them, and you have to be ready to play defense and to challenge the breakdown. This is what they're doing.
Yes, I think this will be a good example for many coaches out there. Replay this game tape. And once again, 3 points tick over for the GGs.
Taylor Hendrick, very confident in her kicking game currently.
Yes, and so now as we move towards the 70th minute, it is 41 GGs, StFX 0. Something to be said here for the X-Women, though. They've never backed down to this challenge. They've worked very hard, and as we mentioned, they're a young team, so this will definitely be building some fire in them for the next seasons to come.
Drop ball by the GGs, but well gathered. It went backwards. They're ready to set a good platform.
Hold.
Good pressure by Akpan.
But I think just a little bit high. We have an advantage. Yes, it's a high tackle from Akpan, unfortunately, on that big pressuring line.
It's too bad because Hendrick had to really dodge and try to get around her. This would have been a bright light in a tough game for StFX.
Yeah, to finish in territory like that and scoring territory in the dying minutes. Again, we see that they've chosen to go for the scrum despite the positioning. So another scrum for the GGs.
have to say it's hard for me to understand this one.
Set! Hold, hold.
But I'm sure they have something in their bag.
Great defensive scrum from StFX to push the GG's pack backwards and towards that short side of the field and force the messy passes to get another scrum, but this time for the X-Women. So finally they find themselves in a strong attacking position just outside the GG's 22.
Good for the X-Women to be able to really challenge that pack in this crucial scrum.
Yes, we've seen perhaps the balance of things is a bit stronger for the GGs, but the StFX women have had a lot of good, clean ball in the scrum as well.
I have to say, it was a gutsy move to call it for.
Yes.
You see them looking for those offloads.
See Griffith taking the ball in there, the number 14. It's an advantage for the StFX women. They have numbers on the short side. They just need that ball out.
This is their chance.
Still playing advantage for the high tackle. Penalty.
High tackle advantage. So we've mentioned that there haven't been many high tackles this tournament, but the refs are very strict on this. World Rugby is very strict on high tackles. So yes, we'll go back to that high tackle advantage in the middle of the field.
High tackle. High tackle, right here.
They really want to put points on that board.
But she's taking off alone, which is something you don't want to do when you face up against a defensive line with the likes of Kamba and Borsbroom, who are so good at stealing that ball.
Tackle now.
McDougall, very efficient in that midfield, went forward.
Away.
Again alone, but they've got that ball back. It squirts out the back. Great fight and battle for that possession.
Cullingham.
Tackle.
They're so close.
Yes, it's now the pick and go.
Closer and closer. Everything has to be inches from the ground, and they get it.
Oh.
Or not. They look like they have it. They're confident they got it.
Referee consulting with the touch judge, the assistant referee here. And it's held up, unfortunately.
This is heartbreaking.
You can see the replay here. Just driving forward those last few meters.
Yeah, no, it's live. Sorry, my bad.
We can see here, of course, because it was held up, that gives the GGs a chance to clear their line with a kick from the goal line.
They'll try to put it behind players, but it is well caught by Madeline Weishar.
Yeah, so we restart the sequence back to where it was with that first attacking scrum from the X-Women.
Tackle. Leave.
Akpan, dynamic in the middle.
Starting to see some spark here from the X-Women, moving the ball out, phase at a time, trying to get on the outside of the GGs, but
big counter ruck.
Time has expired.
And that's so unfortunate because we saw these sparks from the X-Women.
And the GGs will boot it out of bounds to end this game with the points of 41-0.
Well, it's the end of this first Consolation semifinal. GGs will go on to face the winner of the next game, which is coming up to you at 3 o'clock Eastern time.
At 3 o'clock, we will see UPI against UBC. And the winner of that game will face the Ottawa GG in what will be a very exciting Consolation final.
Yes, a battle coast to coast, Vancouver versus Charlottetown coming up at 3 o'clock. A strong performance from the GGs, as we've mentioned. They've seemed to really come back into things after they after their loss to UVic and want to finish this out on a strong note. Unfortunate for the StFX women, but as we mentioned, they are a developing team, and we'll look forward to seeing them move forward as the U Sports 2024. So we're waiting here now for the players of the match.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
So we're just on standby for the Nike players of the game as the players shake hands and line up at the center field. Do you have any thoughts on who we can call for these games?
Oh, there's so many big performers. On StFX side, I have to go with the Rookie of the Year, Akpan, for me.
Yes.
We'll see if
there wasn't a lot of
the
ball.
committee agree with me.
Yes, there wasn't a lot of possession for the X-Women, unfortunately, but when Akpan did get the ball, she was really rumbling forward, looking for space. There's also some really great performances by Emma McDougall and Katie Murphy. And, of course, Katie Douglas recovering a lot of high kicks in the backfield there. And
I believe this is Katie Douglas.
Has been named the Nike Player of the Match for StFX.
She did slice through the line a few times.
And, of course, this is going to be very hard for the committee for the GGs with so many demanding forwards, so many powerful forwards, but it is Borsboom who wins the Nike Player of the Match for the GGs.
What a game she's had.
If you had to ask me, you know, it comes down to coin tosses at some point with those forwards. They all work so hard to stretch over the line, 2 tries apiece with her and 2 tries with Kamba.
You really could have given it to the whole pack.
Exactly. Unfortunately, that's not how prizes work, but I'm sure they all would like to share.
1 to 8 and 16 to 21. To me, you do get the award.
Yes. Great team effort. Lots of team tries from the GG's forward pack. So with that, we prepare for the game at 3 o'clock. I've been Paul George with Karen Paquin. You've been watching this first Consolation final on CBC Sports with CBC Gem. Thanks for being here.
U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada. Une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, just do it. Faites-le. Fox 40, celebrating more than a decade of the Fox 40 U-Sports Coach of the Year Award Program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U-Sport. Veriburn, medical supply partner of Varsity Athletics since 1979. Partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. Barron, exclusive supplier of U-Sports Championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues du championnat U-Sport.